There's an enormous amount at stake when you want to uproot your family to move to the other side of the world, especially when your wife doesn't share your dream.
Adrian McKeown wants to move down under for his children's future.
I just think sometimes you have to go with your heart, and I feel that this is right for my family.
Hello! I would probably have as many reservations as he has reasons for going.
Their experiences will push them to the edge.
It's going to take something massive to knock me off this, and that's going to be so difficult if Kelly doesn't feel the same way.
You're not supposed to get cross with whatever.
I'm not getting cross.
And when limits are pushed, anything can happen.
What if this didn't work out? Where would I live and where would Adrian live and what would happen to the kids, you know?
Sometimes I wonder why we're on such a different wavelength about the thing.
With its hot climate and over 10,000 beaches, Australia is a popular destination for Brits. Over 35,000 emigrate there every year. But is it all it's cracked up to be when almost a third return to the UK, missing their old lives?
The McKeowns are going to be pushed to the limit as they try out life in Australia for 1 week. At the end of it, they'll have a very tough decision to make, whether to stay in the UK or to move down under.
Adrian and Kelly McKeown live with their daughters Kennedy, 7, and Madison, who's 3, in a small village near Carrickfergus in County Antrim. Adrian has lived here all his life and has been dreaming of Australia ever since he was a child.
My best friend moved to Australia whenever I was 8. That was the point then that I really started thinking, you know, there's different places here.
Definitely in the last couple of years he has talked about it probably in every breath or every sentence. It kind of sometimes feels a wee bit like bungee jumping, and he's got me to the top of the ladder. He just has to convince me that the rope's not going to break, and I'm not convinced.
Adrian's memories of Northern Ireland during the Troubles have fuelled his desire to make a better future for his children.
I was evacuated from school. We had a bomb scare out the back of our house. I know things have changed, but there are still the underlying tensions, and I just would love to get the girls to a place where they don't have to worry about that. Australia might offer, and Australia might offer that chance that they'll be able to have the future that they want.
I think there probably are more opportunities, but I don't necessarily think that being here is such a negative thing.
Adrian's under no illusions who he has to win over.
The one I really need to convince is Kelly.
It's not a case of convincing me, it's showing me rather than your one-sided opinion, nick, nick, nick in the background all the time.
The only problem is it's Kelly's job as a nurse that can provide the entrance visa.
I know for a fact that when we go there they'll have to work longer hours just for us to be able to finance the move. Definitely have to have a job before we would go.
I think in the research that I've done, I've proved that to you, that you could get a job.
Yeah, but I would still have to get one.
I know,
Right.
but we know that.
Right.
With close ties at home, there's a lot to lose.
We have a nice house and we have nice friends and good family support and a good church, and just to give all that up to hope that it's going to be better is a pretty big gamble. If somebody could give me a guarantee that everything's going to be rosy, that would be good. But the only person who seems to be able to say that is Adrian, who doesn't have any guarantees.
Unfortunately for Kelly, Adrian is obsessed.
It's always been there, and I don't think it would ever go away regardless of what we decide. But I'm just hoping that we make the right decision from my point of view.
Their week down under will either bring them together or tear them apart. So where in Australia shall we send them?
It's Kelly's job as a nurse which will grant them their visa. As her skills are needed across the country, they could potentially live anywhere. Perhaps they might like Darwin, Australia's most northern capital. As the least populous of Australia's big cities, the McKeowns might find themselves more at home. But there's a smaller economy and only one major public hospital here, so Kelly may struggle to get work. Also, as Darwin's a hotspot for Australian migrants, house prices have doubled in recent years. They could go to Melbourne, Australia's second largest city. This would offer a radical change from their village life, but as sport and culture are massive here, the McEwens would never run out of things to do. Although house prices are rising rapidly, family incomes are higher than the national average, and with around 30 public hospitals, Kelly should have no problem finding work. Maybe a smaller city such as Perth in Western Australia would be more suitable for the family. It's fast growing, offering lots of work if Kelly can handle the competition. And as 1 in 8 residents is British born, the family should feel more at home here whilst finding their feet. House prices are slightly cheaper than Melbourne, so that dream home just might be within reach.
3 good options for McEwens there, each of them life-changing. But where in Australia should they go? Well, we decided that Melbourne had the edge over the other 2 possibilities for their trial week down under.
Although housing is expensive, there are plenty of affordable options in the suburbs. And as Melbourne offers great career prospects for Kelly, it might just help ease her pain.
I think I'm shaking a bit more now than I was before I went in. I feel under pressure, to be honest.
Over the course of the week, there'll be a lot of soul-searching, but will Adrian and Kelly ever see eye to eye?
Just need to find a compromise for you.
For me,
Yeah.
I have to compromise.
No, we have to find a compromise house. If Kelly doesn't vote for Australia, I'm not going to lie and say I'll not be disappointed. It will take me a long time to recover.
I feel very lonely on the outskirts.
It's a long trip for a family with young children. The McEwens fly from Belfast via London, Dubai and Singapore, spanning a distance of over 11,000 miles. They touch down in Melbourne, having been in transit for 34 hours. Adrian knows he's only got 1 week to convince Kelly, and he's already feeling the pressure.
Weirdly feeling a bit apprehensive about coming over. I didn't think I would be. Am I going to get a shock? Because I've maybe had this real desire to be here for a long time and maybe have this blinkered view of what things are going to be like.
I haven't been feeling anything about this trip. I have been on distraction mode and scrubbing my house, haven't I?
Yeah.
So the house is gleaming and we're here with open minds, both of us.
You know, this is my big opportunity to persuade somebody that this might be the right thing for us, so yeah, bring it on.
It's crunch time for the family as they head into the unknown. They've never been so far away from home before, and Melbourne's just a little bit bigger than the small Northern Irish village they're used to.
You have reached your destination.
A bungalow.
A bungalow.
Mummy said it was cute.
The family are staying in the convenient inner suburb of Yarraville.
Well, Manny, what do you think of this? Look at that big bed.
That could be for you, Daddy.
What do you think?
This fireplace.
Wow.
Lovely, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
This small townhouse has 3 bedrooms, a homely living area and a bright garden. Hopefully it will please all the family.
Look at this.
Oh, Maddie, would you like to play out
Would you
here?
like to play out here?
Touch
This
me.
is what I was looking for, to be honest. Nice and warm. Sun. Stop giving me funny looks, Kelly.
Stop being cheesy.
Do you want to try Catholic?
I don't even know what the thing is that would be the thing that would make me want to go, oh yeah, definitely.
We just have to keep an open mind, both of us.
Both of us.
That's what I said. And see what we see.
Go ahead.
It's going to take a lot more than a nice townhouse and a bit of sunshine for Kelly to move. Adrian has his work cut out.
It is my one and only shot. Yeah, it's this week or nothing. It's not going to happen.
Back in Northern Ireland, the McEwen family own a 4-bedroom property in a small village near Belfast. If they sold up for a good price, they'd have a budget of around £230,000. But Kelly loves their home, so it would take a lot for her to let it go.
There's no doubt the McEwens will want to find a home to make this heart-wrenching move seem worthwhile. Finding that dream house will depend upon the area they choose to live and ultimately how much they have to spend.
The family are used to living by the sea, so this may be a good choice for them down under, but coastal homes can be expensive. This property has only 2 bedrooms and priced at £250,000 is slightly over their budget. Living in the city has many benefits. There'd be no commute to work for Kelly, plus cultural activities for the whole family are literally around the corner. Property prices are booming and places like this can cost upwards of £350,000, so the McEwens would have to look further out of town to find something more affordable. This leads us onto the rural suburbs where properties are much cheaper. The McEwens could pick up a 3-bedroom home in a new development to fit their £230,000 budget. We decided to show them 3 properties in the country town of Lilydale. It has good schools and is only a 40-minute commute to the city. Built in the traditional wooden slatted style, Property 1 has 3 bedrooms and is slightly under budget at £200,000. This is Adrian's first real opportunity to show Kelly what Australia has to offer. He prays the homes will help to win her over.
Put up the curb, you just there's a flipping tree there, you donut.
Stop shouting. No. Hey, girls.
First stop is a rather cosy kitchen.
Kitchen's tiny, Kelly.
Yeah. It's very tiny. It's not really big enough for any more than one person to be in it.
No.
And then it's so separate from everything else. Be a bit. Okay.
Still a lot smaller than what we've got at home. It's nice and bright.
Really, and the lights on? I think the house is quite dark.
Do you think so?
Yeah. You're gonna walk.
Not a good start. Maybe the backyard will come to the rescue.
Oh, no, that's nice out here.
Yeah, it's nice to have a nice barbecue in the dark.
Perhaps not.
Yeah, but you can get the
You
sun
could
over
stand, yeah,
here.
you could stand in that 1 foot square piece of sunshine. It's just very dark. To be somewhere where you're supposed to be outdoor living, it's kind of, you're not getting any of the benefit of the sunshine, and it's made of wood.
And it's made of wood. You don't make the wooden houses.
No,
but-
houses are supposed to be made of bricks.
No, they're not.
are
Kelly,
supposed
you have
to
to
be made of
forget
brick.
that. That's back home. This is.
No, there
this
are
is
houses here made of
Australia.
brick.
Yes, there are, but some of the other houses are made of wood.
But they might fall down.
All right. You stop fighting.
That's round 1 to Kelly. Off to property number 2. Property 2 also has 3 bedrooms, but is a bit more expensive at £230,000. That's just within their budget. And if a large swimming pool and views of the mountain ranges can't tempt Kelly, then nothing will.
Oh, wow.
It's in the sky.
It's in the sky.
Feels we just can jump into your
Have your own swimming pool? Will that be good?
I want to live here already.
Do you imagine?
This is nice.
Plan.
It's-
This is a little bit bigger than the last house, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that. That's better.
Yes, you wouldn't feel like you were stuck in the
No,
corner.
that's much better
We
size.
got it.
And it's good room for a dishwasher.
Oh, look at this room.
Oh.
Look, this is quite
nice.
big. So it's got big built-in wardrobes.
Yeah, you wouldn't need anything else in here.
I know whose room this might be.
Whose
this
room
might
might
be.
this be?
My room.
Your room.
Look at all your toys in there.
I think it's lovely. I didn't think we would find a house with this sort of size rooms and a pool in our budget. I really didn't think we'd find a house with a pool in our budget at all. Yeah, I just think it's fantastic. What do you think? Do you think you could live here?
I don't know. I don't know that our home at home is my dream home, but I do like it.
We just need to find a compromise for you.
For me,
Yeah.
I have to compromise.
No, we have to find a compromise house.
You said for you.
Yes, a house that you like, which we're not going to be able to get a house like we have back home. So we need to find a house that you like. I'd find a
What
house
you
that I
said?
like. That's what I meant.
The pressure is just getting too much for Kelly to bear.
You love our house so much. It is a compromise. I wasn't being nasty by saying it.
It sounded careless the way you said it.
Well, it wasn't meant that way. In any way, shape or form. I apologise if that's the way it came across. It was not meant that way.
Although the kids look settled, Mum and Dad have a lot to sort through if they're ever going to make the move. It may all look tempting, but for Kelly, it's just not home. Property 3 is a contemporary design offering the 4 bedrooms the family crave, plus 2 spacious living areas. It's on the market for £250,000, so slightly over budget. But this is what it might take to win Kelly over.
It's a nice path, isn't it?
Conquer. Oh, look at this. Oh,
Whose room do you think this would be?
Yours and Daddy's.
Yeah,
it's a good size gym cut, isn't it?
it is big, yeah.
The kitchen.
Nice phone room. Ah, look at this. This is nice. Oh, this is nice. Who's here? Oh, what's this? Nice balcony. You get a fun out here.
It's a big long house, so it's going to have a big long garden.
Whoa.
It's nice.
It just keeps
You
going.
could.
There's more space here than they'd ever imagined.
What's around there too?
What's my
Big shed and everything. I just think this place is absolutely incredible. You know, just the sheer space, the sheer size of it.
I like the number 2 house because it got the swimming pool, and I like this house because it got the very big garden and 4 bedrooms.
You could play hide and seek, couldn't you?
Yeah, they can hide behind anything.
Yeah.
It's like a little fairy garden.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
If I was to rate this house out of 10, it probably would be more than the first 2 houses added together. It's much more what we would need. And I love the fact that there's somewhere for the girls to play. And it's all enclosed, so it's safe.
I think it's probably right at the very top end of our budget, if not
Tipping the scales.
slightly outside it, yeah. Although that's going to depend on what we can get work-wise.
Yeah.
I just think it's fantastic.
Well, it's a little fairy garden. I would imagine little fairies dancing around the tree.
I think the girls would love it.
I like it.
You want to wake
Nice
the
garden
fairies?
book. Yeah.
There's fairies in there.
See the house.
They have seen 3 very different homes, but although Adrian loved what he saw, Kelly still hankered for her beloved place back in Northern Ireland. Was Property 3 enough to persuade her? It's time for the first vote of the week.
Okay, between houses in Australia and houses in the UK, we're going to vote Australia.
Mommy said UK. Mommy wants UK.
I'm shocked. Why did you go with UK?
Because I still like my house more. And I still prefer bricks to sticks. You're not supposed to get cross with whatever.
I'm not getting cross.
I don't think Adrian understands how hard it is because he's still caught up in his own little bubble. And I suppose Adrian said earlier on, well, you'll just have to make the compromise, and it feels like it'll be me that makes the compromise in everything. It's more like submission rather than compromise, it feels like. I don't know what that would do to us in the long term. Obviously, I want all of us to be happy, but I don't want for me to be unhappy to make that happen, if that makes sense. I feel very lonely on the outskirts. But that's okay. I'm quite happy with my loneliness at the minute.
Poor Kelly is feeling the pressure. She has serious doubts. But it's her job that will get them the entry visa that would make the whole thing possible.
Kelly's career in the UK means everything to her.
The job at Antrim's the only job I've had since I qualified from nursing, so it'll be difficult to leave that security, and especially when it's at the other side of the world and you're not going to know anybody, never mind the people you're working with. I'm really hoping to have an open mind.
Down under, Adrian knows his dream move hinges on Kelly's experience at work. Already tempers are fraying.
Adrian, watch where you're going.
Is there anything you really want to ask them?
I just told you if they have jobs.
Yeah, but is that it? You're happy enough with the job?
Well, I don't know what it's going to be. I'm sure a hospital's a big place. It depends what department it is. You're shouting at me.
I'm not shouting at you.
You sure?
No, I'm not.
You sure?
I was asking you questions and you weren't talking to me.
I was thinking about the answer.
The ward Kelly will be working in today treats babies flown in from all over Australia, so it's bigger and more specialised than the maternity unit she's used to back home.
See you later.
Kelly may be able to better her 16 grand UK part-time salary, but for her it's not just about the money.
I really enjoy my job back in the UK, so it would have to be something that would be kind of on par with that. I wouldn't want to just work for it just because I had to, you know. I want to find something that was enjoyable and that I could give everything to.
Hello, Kerry.
Boss Sherry Waldron wastes no time throwing her into the mix. Her interpersonal skills are essential to the job, so meeting a new baby's father is a good test.
Hi there, nice to meet you. I'm
Visiting from Northern Ireland.
Is this your first baby?
Yeah, our first one.
Been a bit of a roller coaster, I'm sure.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise, but she's going okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Has she needed surgery or anything?
No, she's avoided the
that's
surgery,
good.
so just a sleep study next week hopefully to give her clear.
She looks like she's thriving and
Yeah, she's been
getting
putting
big.
on weight the last few weeks, so her feeds are going well.
Cheers and good luck with baby when you get her home.
Yeah, thanks.
And good luck you. I think that's our cue to leave. Oh, well, thanks very much again.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Well, Boss Sherry seems impressed, but does Kelly really want to be there? Meanwhile, Adrian and the children grab recruitment manager Neil Chandaria on his lunch break.
How are you?
Okay.
Yeah?
Adrian is desperate to find out what his job prospects are down under.
My biggest concern is I'm a recruitment manager back home, you know, so I do have a team of staff that work under me, and I'm obviously worried about would I get a similar sort of role out here, or would I find myself right back at the start of being an administrator and working my way up, or...
I think that's a bit drastic. I think that you may have to take a very small step backwards in order to gain those stripes and move forward.
Yeah, I suppose you do need to get an understanding of the labour market, the laws and
Absolutely.
stuff. You know, if I was to come out and have to go back to the likes of a senior recruiter role, you know, what sort of package would be sort of on offer for that type of work?
I would anticipate a salary package of in and around $70,000 to $80,000. It is certainly achievable.
That would be achievable?
I would say so. Catch you soon.
Thanks, mate.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers, Neil.
Bye-bye.
I found that meeting with Neil very useful. Really nice surprise whenever he told me about the salaries. The basic scale is nearly £10,000 more than what I'm getting back in the UK, so that was a really, really nice surprise. my biggest concern is for Kelly at this minute, how she's getting on over at the hospital. She was very nervous this morning, although she wouldn't let on to anybody and wouldn't admit, even going up in the car, she wouldn't admit that she was feeling nervous about it. So I'm just hoping that she likes what she sees there.
Back at the hospital, Sherry introduces Kelly to fellow Brit Amy, who might be able to win her over.
Did you find it difficult settling in?
I think the first maybe 3 to 6 months I was ready to pack up and go home. Just missing family and home and everything. But I've made some, fantastic friends here. And yeah, it's probably the best thing I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
The husband will be pleased with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I'm not keen, I'm just kind of a bit more realistic than he is and
Yeah.
kind of want to explore every little nook and cranny of
Yeah,
moving.
it is a good move, I have to say.
I think he just thinks, your name's on a list of wanted jobs, so let's go.
Let's go, yeah.
Kelly is that bit more careful and a bit more thoughtful through things. I just think sometimes you have to go with your heart, and I feel that this is right for my family, and it does get a little bit frustrating sometimes that she doesn't seem to understand how passionate I am about it. Yeah, it does. Sorry. Sometimes I wonder why we're on such a different wavelength about the thing. Kelly's very much, everything you've got back home. But I'm looking at the longer term and sort of what future I have for my 2 girls. And I don't see the future back at home. And I think somewhere like Australia and Melbourne and in particular just offers them so much more.
My husband has had it in his head from he was about 8 years old that he would like to emigrate to Australia, and part of me is intrigued, but part of me is, I don't know whether I'm too sensible or too scared or what it is.
There is a lot of support and it's very easy to build networks. Some of our nurses, they actually love it when new people start, and you know, somebody will organise a barbecue, or we all go to the tennis, or we go and see a show.
It's just, it feels a little bit overwhelming, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel under pressure, to be honest.
It's going to take something massive to knock me off this. And that's going to be so difficult if Kelly doesn't feel the same way. Oh.
Adrian and I have been talking about prospective jobs over here, and I think he is sick of me kind of banging on about this, that and the other, you know, reality. And I think I've been quite negative because I think when you've only worked in one place, I suppose it's safe. Every part of me wants to lie and say, oh no, it was awful and I could never work here. I feel positive in that I like it, but that's scary for me, so yeah, I just feel a wee bit unsettled. I think I'm shaking a bit more now than I was before I went in. I can't distinguish whether it's excitement or nerves, but yeah, I don't know, just feel a bit, oh.
Will Kelly be able to fit her family into a new life down under? She's obviously torn and finding it hard to work out what she feels about a move. Emotions are running high.
There's Mummy.
Sorry.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hiya.
Hello.
So how'd you get on?
Yeah, it was really good. The girl was really nice and all the people were really friendly.
What was the unit like compared to yours?
Massive and big and spacey.
Did she say anything about opportunities for you?
She said that if I felt like it was somewhere I wanted to work, that I could just give her a ring and she would have a chat with me. But
Okay, so do you want to move to Australia?
pass.
No cop-outs. Do you want to move to Australia?
Pass. It's not a question I can answer straight away.
Kelly's not quite ready for the big decision yet, Adrian, but as far as work is concerned, how will she vote?
We've both been looking at job prospects here today and we're going to take a vote. And we're going to vote for Australia.
You surprised? Daddy's surprised too.
It's only one vote.
Are we going to do it?
Still one vote.
Kelly is finally warming to Adrian's dream of moving to Australia. But with financial storms brewing, their truce is hardly likely to last.
I'm not patronising you, but do the difference of the sex at the table. I don't mean to, but do.
And facing up to the prospect of leaving loved ones behind is not going to be easy for anyone.
I was angry, which was wrong of me, but I was very hurt to think that they were going to move away.
I would miss Kennedy and Madison so much. Just would, because they're them.
Even if Kelly does side with Adrian, there's still the question of cost. Can they actually afford to make the move at all?
Back in Northern Ireland, the McKeowns own a spacious 4-bedroom property, which Adrian believes to be worth around £190,000. We arranged for 2 estate agents to give a more recent valuation.
Very nice kitchen, Belfast sink. Good spacious accommodation, yeah.
Dining room is a bit small and tight.
It's because we've got a big table.
Something tells me this is a girl's room.
Yeah, you could do a pair of sunglasses in here, but yeah, there's a double room. Yeah, 3 good double rooms and a smaller box room.
That's not a box room. You can't get a bed in a box room.
This time a year ago, this property would have valued around about 220 to 225,000. Due to the current decline in the housing market, I would see this property on the market around about 145 to 150,000.
No way.
Told you.
No, it's too low.
If I was valuing this property today, putting it on the market today, my valuation would be £140,000.
As the guy said, this time last year you've been looking, 200, 220 for it, and I think realistically I was expecting at least 160 for it.
That's what I thought it would be worth.
I'm quite shocked at them saying 140, 145. It's knocked me a bit. It's not the end of the world, but it's not what I was expecting.
Might be the end of your work.
The balance of power may be shifting in Kelly's direction, but there could be even more financial surprises in store. We've prepared a breakdown of their daily Australian expenses so they can see if they can actually afford to live here.
Phone and internet.
It's 55. Gas and electricity. 130 a month here. Rice. It's really expensive.
It's because it's boiling in the bag.
Are you not shocked that it's that much more expensive? It's 3 times the price.
After crunching the numbers, do they end up better or worse off in Australia?
Okay, and do the difference in the salaries.
Stop.
I'm not patronising you, but do the difference.
You are patronising me.
Well, I don't mean to, but do the calculation. So we would be £6,500 a year.
That's a month.
£540 a month better off.
I get that exchange rate.
The salaries over here seem to be that much better, and that's going to make a huge difference to us.
But what if you still move here?
I'm not asking you, are you going to move? I'm asking you, would that help a little bit? No, you're going to have more money?
No, because I said I wasn't going to base a decision on one thing.
But it would have helped. I'll be honest, it shocked me that we are potentially that better off.
One thing isn't going to make the final decision, but I suppose it's not a cross.
Another tick?
No, I just said it's not a cross.
Despite being better off down under, Kelly still seems unconvinced. So which way will they vote on the cost of living?
Based on the cost of living, we're going to vote Australia.
That's another vote from Kelly for Australia. But if you move to the other side of the world, one of the hardest things to cope with is leaving loved ones behind. We've prepared some messages from friends and family back home in Northern Ireland.
Hi everybody, I hope you've had a wonderful time.
I've missed you, especially you, Kennedy and Madison.
Kelly and Adrian and the girls are a brilliant family unit. They just really gel together. They're just lovely.
Adrian's quite quiet, very personal, loves his family to bits, and I'm talking about Kelly and the kids as well as the bigger family.
If I wanted a son-in-law, I wouldn't want one any different than Adrian.
Kelly, yes, she's my daughter, but she's my best friend, and sometimes she is like a mum to me as well. I see her every day, and even when I see her every day, we speak on the phone.
Kennedy and Madison have both completely individual personalities, but both amazing personalities. And for them not to be here, and I might not see them for a number of years, if not again, it would be extremely difficult.
About 18 months ago, Kennedy was up here, and she just came out of the blue and said, "Oh, we're going to go and live in Australia in a house with a swimming pool." I just couldn't wait for Kelly to get back, and I was in tears. What's all this about you going to Australia? And I was just devastated. I was angry, which was wrong of me, but I was very hurt to think that they were going to move away.
The idea of them leaving Northern Ireland, for us, is pretty devastating. You just don't build up your friendships easily and quickly in life, and that's just the key to life, isn't it, and to living.
We brought them up to the best of our ability. As the saying is, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's how it is.
I would miss Kennedy and Madison so much. Because I just would, because they're them.
I don't know what your decision's going to be. I know it'll be difficult for you, it'll be difficult for us, but whatever you decide, we'll support you and Can't wait to see you back home. Love you.
You're missing who? Everybody.
Dry those tears up, please. I don't like people crying.
I know you don't.
You've been crying.
I don't want to sound callous, but it probably doesn't change what my decision would be. Because there are so many ways we can keep in touch now.
Obviously, I'm upset that she's upset, and like if we did decide to move here, you might have 6 months or a year or longer of this, you know. But at the end of the day, it has to be our decision. And I don't know. I didn't think Kennedy would get as upset, so I thought she would get upset, but I didn't think she would just be as upset. Did you think you would get that upset? No.
It's very hard seeing messages from loved ones, especially for the children. If the McKeons are going to go through all the pain of separation from their roots, they have to be sure their new life is going to be worth it.
Back in Northern Ireland, church is extremely important to Adrian and Kelly.
Is this your first time here? Yeah.
Adrian hopes that by finding a similar community down under, it will help persuade Kelly to make the move.
I want to be at the far side.
We're not to go to the far side.
I want to be the fourth person in.
The Donvale Presbyterian Church has a weekly congregation of 1,000 people and welcomes new members from all backgrounds. This should be a great way for the McKeons to meet like-minded people.
Everyone here seems to know each other and chat to each other, and there's lots of people still hanging around. But nearly an hour after the service is finished, so that's a good sign.
Everybody has been incredibly friendly. It just seems really, really nice. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So,
Well, it's thumbs up for church. Now it's time for the children to have some fun.
I would have to say this is probably one of the nicest places I've ever been.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to swim outside.
I can safely say there's absolutely nowhere like this back home in Northern Ireland.
Daughter Kennedy has a weak muscle condition, and this kind of place would be perfect to help strengthen them up.
We know that swimming is very important to Kennedy with her wee problem with her legs. You know, we'd be very, very happy for her to come to somewhere like this as often as she wanted.
For Kennedy, it's just brilliant. All the facilities here for her are really good on what she's been kind of prescribed and what she needs, so it's really good.
As ever, Adrian's mind is on his wife.
Kelly does seem to be very positive today. I know she had a bit of a restless night, but I'm keeping fingers crossed that this place may be getting to her, and hopefully it's getting to her in the right way.
We hope so too, Adrian.
I just feel a bit under pressure, but trying not to let it get me down too much.
The McKeon family have had an active day out. Now it's time to vote on lifestyle.
For lifestyle, we vote Australia!
Ever since he was a child, Adrian has dreamt of leaving Northern Ireland and moving to Australia. But a certain someone has always stood in his way.
The one I really need to convince is Kelly.
It's not a case of convincing me, it's showing me rather than your one-sided opinion, nick, nick, nick in the background all the time. I don't necessarily think that being here is such a negative thing.
As soon as they touched down in Australia, the cracks started to show.
Just need to find a compromise for you.
For me,
yeah,
I have to compromise. It's more like submission rather than compromise. I don't know what that would do to us in the long term.
To Kelly's amazement, she enjoyed her work day.
Everybody that I met in there was so nice and friendly, and I feel a bit, oh.
But despite a vote for Australia, the battle was far from over.
I'm not asking you, are you going to move? I'm asking you, would that help a little bit?
No, because I said I wasn't going to base a decision on one thing.
Sometimes I wonder why we're on such a different wavelength about the thing.
I feel very lonely on the outskirts.
The McKeons have tried Australia for 1 week, and Kenny's eyes have been open to Adrian's dream. But is it enough to persuade her to take such a massive step?
Adrian knows exactly what's at stake.
I would quite happily say that this week has been the best week of my life. You know, it's just doubled my determination that this is the right place for my family to grow up. If Kelly doesn't vote for Australia, I'm not going to lie and say I'll not be disappointed. It will take me a long time to recover.
This last week has been a bit horrendous for me. I think Adrian and I have had a few more deep and meaningful conversations than we've had in the last 3 or 4 years, but I mean that's not a bad thing because it's not something that you do lightly. And like even when we were looking at houses, I was kind of thinking, oh, what if this didn't work out? You know, where would I live and where would Adrian live and what would happen to the kids? You know, that's actually been the worst thing all week. If we're going to move to the other side of the world, for us we have to be completely secure, and I think we just needed to hear it from each other that we would be there for each other and that it would be a decision for both of us.
Mummy and Daddy's been really different today. They've been starting to get really kind and less shouty and everything. And I think it's because it's becoming even sunnier than yesterday or something.
I was 27 whenever me and Kelly got together, and I was sort of thinking, that's it, I'm never going to meet anybody. And then this lovely girl walked into my life and it just changed it. So my first reaction was, I'm not losing this girl.
I love the way he loves the girls. And I love the way he's so passionate about things, although it drives me crazy sometimes. His love nearly seems to get stronger, and then I suppose sometimes I don't feel that about myself, so I can't really understand why he feels like that.
She knows I love her to bits, and I'll do absolutely anything for her. And if staying in the UK is the thing that's going to make her happy, then staying in the UK will be what we do.
I don't mind what they vote for, but I just hope they are going to make the right decision.
The McKeowns have had a life-changing week. They've had to dig deep and ask huge questions they've never confronted before. But now the wait is over. It's time for the final vote.
It's been a very interesting week in one way or another, and we're going to vote Australia!
And I'm going to vote Australia! What?
That's a surprise. I'm absolutely stunned, but absolutely delighted.
I feel like I might puke. I don't know. I don't know whether it's excitement or nervousness, but it does feel a bit like a weight's lifted off my shoulders, and yeah, I just have to go from here.
It's been a life-changing journey, and Kelly has made a brave decision for Adrian and the children. Let's hope it works out for them.
I suppose at home it's easy to kind of steer towards staying at home because you don't know any different, and as much as I try to cling on to it, I really couldn't. Australia was bigger than me.
A flat in London with space goes under the hammer next. Wonders will never cease.